For more on these legal developments, I want to welcome on Jason Meister, a Trump 2020 advisory board member. So Jason, we've been talking about this Flynn case now for the better part of 4 years almost. And here we are seeing that a judge wants to revisit the allegations against him, almost revisit this entire case altogether. What is your take on that development?
It's unbelievable, Alex, what's happening. I mean, this is an outrageous malpractice of justice by a Democrat-controlled Court of Appeals. This is an American war hero, a three-star general who was in a perjury trap by the most corrupt, from my opinion, the most corrupt administration in American history, the Obama administration. And what they did to this man, every single American should be worried about it, concerned about it. If they can do this to a three-star general, what can they do to you?
And a lot of people, too, are hoping that the Durham investigation gets more answers about not only this case, but the origins of the Russia investigation more broadly. But we're hearing that there may be a situation where Durham's report won't come out until after the November election. Would that be detrimental to those people around the country who want answers when it comes to this issue?
It would be detrimental. I think it's the American people that need to find out, and they need to see what happened leading up to the 2016 election, and then going forward as the incoming president was framed. I think that it's very important that Durham get the results of his report, as well as there's speculation that there's a whole host of indictments, criminal indictments coming. So I think it's very important before the election that the American people understand what went down and who executed this framing.
And Jason, a big part of this, too, is the idea that Joe Biden may be involved in that investigation. I mean, we're seeing from 302 forms and other notes coming from Peter Strzok that Joe Biden was the individual who first brought up using the Logan Act, a very weird type of law that I don't think has ever been used before in U.S. history, to go after Michael Flynn. So how important would it be to get Joe Biden's involvement on the record going into the election as well? Would it be pivotal to the election?
It's absolutely pivotal. If you think about it, in that January 5th meeting in 2017 in the Oval Office, Joe Biden floated the Logan Act. He unmasked General Flynn. You also had Susan Rice in that meeting. So I think it's very important that the American people understand what Joe Biden's role was, what Barack Obama's role was leading up to the 2020 election. It is very important for us to find those questions out.
And even when we talk about the vice presidency role, I think it's kind of interesting because we hear prospects such as Kamala Harris, Stacey Abrams, the usual suspects, but then there's also Susan Rice, who's also involved in this whole situation to begin with. She's been floated as a top contender for the VP spot, so it could possibly be Joe Biden and Susan Rice, people who are involved in this investigation, once again running for the presidency. What would that mean for the election?
You won't see, if Joe Biden wins this election and Susan Rice is the vice president, we will never see justice. We won't see justice for General Flynn. We won't see justice for President Trump. We won't see justice for the entire campaign and for the American people. You effectively had a coup d'etat, and they were trying to take the election out of the hands of the voters, and they're trying to do the same thing going to 2020. So I think it's incredibly important that the Durham investigation come out, show us the results of that report, show us the indictments, because we need to see indictments. We need people who broke the law in this country to actually be punished at the highest levels, and I think we will see that.
And to some degree, you have to give credit to the idea that there's been no leaks from the Durham investigation. I mean, nowadays it's a really rare thing to see. I mean, no matter what the investigation is or if it's behind closed door testimony, sometimes you see selective leaks. But right now, it's been absolutely shut coming from that investigation, which generally is a good thing. But right now, people want an inference of what's happening, especially going into the election, because if it's a nothing burger, I think the American people deserve to know. But if there is something there and the possibility that investigation could be shut down if Joe Biden were to become president, I think that's something that the American people also deserve to know. But Jason Meister, I appreciate you coming on tonight, breaking down where we stand in regard to these cases. Thank you.